So it is past my bedtime, but I just saw a post about black girls being labeled fast in the black community. Um, and it hit me. It kind of hit me because I have heard it, and I know like many black women have heard it, especially black women of my age. I am 45, so yeah. Um, and I'm thinking back to how, as a young black girl, my peers, my white peers, they always looked like little girls, and once we got to a certain age, as a little black girl, I didn't any like very long. Like I had hips, and I didn't have like really like big breasts, but they were noticeable. And I can just remember being told, stay away from this person, like this man and this boy, and all these different things. And having grown ass men try to talk to me, I'll give you this, I'll buy you that, you look so good, all those things. But it was never a matter of someone telling those men, leave that little girl alone. It was always me being in a man's face, or being considered fast. Even though I wasn't having sex, even though, I had no interest, and it was uncomfortable. And I just, like most young girls, like all of a sudden we're thrown into this world where we're trying to understand our bodies. Things are changing, our hips are developing, our butts are developing, and it's like we get blamed for developing. And so I think that as a community, we need to start being more careful about that, about telling little black girls that, if they wear shorts, they're being fast, or if they wear a shirt that has just a little too much V in it, they're being fast. Girls are not fast. Girls are girls who are developing. They're developing. They're people who are navigating this world as teenagers, whose bodies are changing, whose hormones are changing. And it's not the little girls we need to be cautioning. It's not the little girls we need to be speaking to. It's the grown ass men. And so as we're talking about this little girl whose mom shot this man who was under her bed, it was a man under her bed, a 20-year-old person. But again, the little girl is being blamed for being fast. That is so ridiculous. She's a little girl. This is a grown man, 20 years old. Sure, mom could have called the police. Sure, she could have done a million other things differently. Okay, I'll give you that. But his ass wouldn't have been shot if he hadn't have been under a little girl's bed. And so this child could potentially lose her mom. And you guys would have it be all her fault because she was fast. So make up your mind. Do you want grown-ass men to have access to little girls? Or do you want girls to be responsible for the activities and behaviors of grown-ass men? You can't have it both ways. Either he was wrong for dealing with this little girl and being under her bed, or she was wrong for having him in the house, in her room, in her bed, whatever. But you cannot have it both ways. And if you say that little girl was being fast, then your ass is a problem. Period. I don't care what you say. Like they say, argue with your mama. Because you're not going to tell me that this man didn't know what he was doing. You're not going to tell me that this man didn't know how old she was. And you're not going to tell me that this child could consent. Argue with your mama.